All right, thank you guys for joining us. This is Brother Mike in Battle Box. I have with me Dr. AY, who is a concerned Nigerian and also someone who has been following the movement and just everything going on in Nigeria. So, Dr. AY, can you please tell us what your thoughts are on the protest and just everything going on in general?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dr. Mike.
You're welcome. Your volume.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear now. Okay, good.
Yeah. So what have I thought on this uh, protest going on in Nigeria?
Yep.
Um, for me, I think it's long overdue, but I felt like it's still we're still I would say it's long, like I said again, it's long overdue, but I think it's the right thing to do. But I think the way the government is managing it, um, it's not um it's not up to. I would say the approach to the government is using in managing it is not on par with what is the people are feeling, and I feel like it's high time the government come out and listen to the people and listen
We
to
have four
people
people
might
watching us live. Okay, thank you guys for joining us. Yeah.
say that's good. Say point saying the way government is managing is not on par with what people are requesting. So what I would say again is that the government needs to come clean. When they come clean, the people that are protesting will probably want to listen to them. But I would say the protesters have been left down in previous protests. So it was very hard on the part of the government in trying to manage this situation. But in all, I think the protesters uh, want the good for the country, and it's up to the government to convince those protesters to say, yeah, well, we're also in line with you, and we want to take the country forward, just like the way they said.
When you say come clean, you said they have not come clean. What do you mean come clean?
When I say come clean, is like being sincere with the people, being telling them if you tell. I was trying to listen to the public what's the guy Ilali Abi Igilali,
Mhm,
is it the special advisor to the president. He was
mhm.
trying to say that they're cutting that the office of the first lady, and I laughed. Is the office of the first lady part of the constitution? He was trying to talk about we have cut down the people that is going with the president to 20. I was just laughing. I'm like,
No, the
give me the
presidential
data.
entourage. Yeah.
Give Okay, let's start from here. So normally, how many people goes out with the president on an official
On a
visit?
trip.
How many are you on a particular trip? How many are you guys? Like, you used to be 100, then we're reducing it to 20. They will not start talking. Don't just to throw numbers there and say like we're going to cut that too far. Where are we coming from, and where are we now? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I would say
So
coming
I like
clean,
what you're saying. What you're saying is that there's a lot of insincerity. The government is not sincere because, your
being
example, you
sincere.
just cannot come and say, "Oh yeah, we're cutting to 20." But what were you
Yeah.
before?
Before. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's come from that place that say where were we
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
we used to spend so amount of naira. Now because of this, so then you're coming there. People are seeing it. It's about data. Present
Yeah.
it to us. Let's visualize and say, oh, these
Yeah.
guys are making step.
Yeah.
Not the
Yeah.
way not the way just that's why just when I say people don't analyze something, sometimes I just laugh like you can
Yeah.
see. You need
Yeah,
to
well,
that's why you
Nigerians are not stupid. Nigerians are actually one of the, if not the most educated class of people in all of Africa, and probably all of the
yeah.
world, actually. So we are very intelligent. We are very smart, and for the government to be treating us as if we are not intelligent, I think that's an insult on Nigerians. So to your point, I completely agree with that. The other thing I was going to ask you about was with. So I just had Shore on again. Shout out to
Yeah.
him for being here, and he was saying that. There's no going back. There's no, all the 15 points must be met. And I'm asking, and I'm kind of thinking, well, how do you get all the 15 points met? That's a lot. And it just cannot happen overnight. So, what's your take on that? Should they start small, small, or they should just get everything, or no surrender? Kind of like we're taking everything. What's your approach to that?
I'll say since my approach to that would be like since I've known since I've understand living as a Nigerian, I've come to It's still I've come to that nothing never some it's hard for some things to move forward most times. But if we want to make it move forward, we do. So in for the government to work on the 15 items that the protesters are demanding is quite possible. It doesn't mean they are going to achieve it 100%. Like I said, it's just taking those steps, taking the step to say, okay, you said you want bad governance. Okay, give us the date on the 15th, on the so date. This is where we are now. It's still the same thing. This is where we're coming from. You say you want to, is this possible? Negotiate. Is it possible? If not possible, okay. This is what we agreed on. Agreed on each and every one of them and give them a timeline. On the 15th of this, we'll come back and review this. We should be have been here. If you are not here, you can come. It's just a matter of discussion. So
So
I
what
didn't
you're
expect
saying,
this projection.
you are saying the government is not serious. That's what you're saying.
I'm not saying this government is not- I'm saying they are not sincere.
They are not sincere.
They are
Okay,
not
to be
sincere.
correct. Well, I said
And
you
they are
said they're
not
not serious
willing.
in the sense that to be serious, you need to have like a 5 point agenda. This is on this date, we are doing this on that date. Very specific in black and white, structure.
I don't want
Because
to, yeah, I'm just trying to speak from the way a Nigerian will perceive when I say serious. So I just wanted to be serious. If I say serious, they might take it the other way around because we all
I
have
understand,
something
yeah.
that's always boiling in from us. I want to be making point clear. Say this is what we want to do, and this is where we're going. I will just consider it from the where we're coming from and where we said we should be going, just to show that we are making progress. Believe
Mm.
me, we are not making progress. We are not making progress.
So one of the questions I asked Mr. Shore was, the protest is kind of faceless. Like the protest is faceless because there's no particular person, like other ones you had Wale Soyinka come in. Some of them is Adams Oshomole. Like you had people,
Yeah,
figures that people know. This protest, like nobody knows who's kind of behind it. So what's
yeah.
your thought on that? Do you think maybe the organization or the structure, like should it be a certain way, or should they have people that are known to kind of help move their cause forward?
I think the fact that it's in a way the fact that the protest is faceless is also helping the government. Trying to say trying to say you want to know who are the organizers of the protest, it means that you want to go after them. You want to scatter the protest. You don't want to break the sincerity in their protest. If you know that the people want you to talk, like they said, come and talk to us. Um, so we want to hear what you have to say about some of the things that is happening in the country. There's some things you're going to say, like people say they want the subsidy to be back. Not necessarily. You don't. The subsidy doesn't have to be back. It can be as sincere as saying, "Oh, this is what we're doing with in reducing the price," and with time, we're going to beat your demand. We are going to even come lower because we'll be producing um, um,
Um,
petrol
so
or
locally,
product
yeah.
locally. But
Mhm.
it's just really there. It's more than 4 years that they've been saying they're going to fix the refinery. It's more than all those things are there. These are the questions people are asking. They are not actually asking. They are asking, how come do we get here? How did we get here? And what are you going to do to take us from here? So if you start talking at, oh, this is where we used to be, and this is where we are going. It's taking longer. I was there when they said they're going to start refinery on this day. It's going to be July. July has passed. It's going to be 2023. It's going to be 2024. You're not being sincere with those things. If you're being sincere and you're working towards it, then the people will be fine.
It's 14 months enough. I'm asking this because you said 4 years earlier. You said 4 years. I mean, Tinubu's not been in office for what, 14, 15 months, or May, June,
Yeah.
July, August. So just 14 months. Is that enough for the expectations? Because that's what some of the people are saying.
Say to make progress. Just what people want to say is progress. We want to say that we are making progress every month. You give them, okay, you have 15 points. Give them a roadmap with each and every item there. And it's very hard to it's very easy. If you know the government said I've been working towards it, I'm working towards it. What are you working towards? Tell us what they're working
Tell us.
about all these agendas. I'm going to be here on the 15th. I'm going to be here on 2020, 2027. In 2025, we should be here. In 2026, we should be here. If then be ready to take consequence. This is the person that will be in charge of this. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to take that person off. That's what people want to say. People want to see action. People want to see that you are making effort. It's effort. It's effort that people want to say. If you are
So
not going to
what
make effort,
if, I mean, so every administration have their own agenda. Every government, they
yeah,
have their own agenda. Like this is what we're gonna
yeah,
do. It might be a focus of infrastructure. It might be a
yeah,
focus on infrastructure. That's their goal. All we want to do is infrastructure. It might be a
yeah,
focus on unemployment because these things are big problems. Problem in Nigeria is very big and plenty. Again, I'm not
yeah,
speaking for the government. I'm just trying to counter argue the other side. If I, as a
yeah,
government, I have 5 things I want to do or 7 things I want to do, and then
yeah,
the protesters come and they give me 15, the government may not, and that's what I was trying to push Mr. Shwari, that the government might not want to do all 15, or they might not even have the capacity. It's one thing to be outside, it's another thing to be in government. They might not have the
yeah.
capacity to be able to do all 15. Um, would the protesters be okay, or should they, in your opinion, be okay with the government just doing 3, or the government just doing 8, or the government say, it's only 2 we can do? Would that be something that you think Nigerians should accept?
Say they can do whatever they want to do. It doesn't have to be the first item can be 100%, the second item can be 100%, the last item can be 20%. Like I said, it's all about progress. Show the people that you are making effort in each and every one of those demands they are inquiring from you. That's what they need. They don't need any more.
Hmm.
Don't I don't think it's like we said. You said you are broke, but you keep borrowing every time again. You keep borrowing, and you're borrowing to finance what? You can't you
Yeah,
can't
the
put you can't
lifestyle.
peg it to anything.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
peg it to say this way, but you're pegging it to
Private
assets
jet.
that are
Yeah.
depreciable,
Mm.
cars, flights, that things are not going to be product. They are not going to increase the productivity in the economy. So that's what they are spending money on. So people will still go to continue to go back into poverty by doing that. I
Mm.
must tell you, I grew up in Nigeria, and even up to today, after more than 40 years, they are still saying up to the bar. It's bad.
Mm. Mm.
It's bad.
Mm.
I've lived
Uh,
I've lived out of the country, and I can tell you that I've never experienced power failure. And I've lived in almost two different countries, two different continents.
mhm.
I wish the next time I visit, I can stay in Nigeria for 1 month, and I don't have to worry about using a generator or something like that. Effort needs to be made. You can say, okay, we're going to have 40 megawatt of electricity constant for 2020 2024. The next year, instead of going, we'll go see we're 7,000 today. The next day we're in 2,000. Then the next day we're back to zero. Uh, that's there's a way people will be doing it. We need to be sincere with ourselves. Or we need to stop the culture of gal and go to work.
Thank you very much. That's a good answer. The other thing I was going to ask you is you're pointing at leadership. What you are suggesting here is leadership, leadership, leadership. The failure of
The
leadership.
problem everything about Nigeria is failure of leadership. I understand that if you have a good leader, if you have leaders in different areas of our society, be whatever, if they are all if they are all thinking alike, or if we are all thinking not necessarily thinking alike, if we are all thinking for the betterment of the good of the people, we might be thinking alike, but taking it different. Like we said, I'm thinking alike to make it's about progress. I might be
Mm.
doing it differently. So if we're doing that, we can make progress. It's about leadership. You can influence people. Why do you think in the churches where you have millions of people? And when I tell people that in my country they can gather more than a million, 2 million, 3 million, I mean, even in a church meeting, people will say,
Service.
What are you talking-" in a service?
Mhm.
So why do you think people are going there? Because some people are able to show leadership in the things that they are doing. So if imagine every one of them, every people if I'm not talking about only the government, even the people in the private sector, every one of us is showing leadership in whatever we're doing. So people are doing it. That's why some people are in the Olympics right now. They're trying to show that leadership that we can fight for this. If ever so, but with the good intention of making progress in what we are doing, not necessarily trying to enrich ourselves, not trying to enrich one of enrich your family, just showing that leadership in what you have been committed, what has been committed into your hands, daily, Nigerian can see people fly. You can see progress being made, and that's
So
magnum.
yeah, no, thank you for that. I don't want us to talk in a vacuum. It sounds like sometimes we're in a vacuum. And by that I mean we are focused on one thing within that vacuum. Talking about leadership. In Nigeria, there's this concept of stomach infrastructure. Basically, you know what that means? That means election time, pay me.
Yeah,
And when you pay me, I don't care what you want to get into office. For this election, a lot
yeah,
of votes were bought. People put millions of naira, into an investment, for lack of a better term. An investment is let me invest in, southwest or southeast constituency or zone 12, whatever the zone they're going for. And that's just them going to hand cash to people. So these
yeah,
people that are giving the cash are the ones on the streets that are also protesting. Not all of them in general, because the protesters, they're very, they are good people. Even I myself, I protested when I was in Nigeria, so I know what that feels like. But what I'm saying is,
mm,
some of the Nigerians are those also collecting the money. So you cannot talk about leadership in a vacuum. By that I mean there's also the other side of it. The other side being that we as Nigerians we have to change that culture, because I know people that have run for office, and when they run for office, they complain about even to be a nominee or just to be on the tickets. Like presidential is 100 million. Why should it be 100 million naira to spend a presidential ticket? To be APC, PDP, Labour Party, all these places, you have to buy the chairman, buy this person, buy that person. So when you're talking of leadership in a system whereby the person with the biggest pocket wins, which we have culturally adopted, we are culturally accepted. Our culture has said this is okay, this is cool, this is what we want to do as a culture, as a people.
mm.
How long can you blame leadership for? If our culture,
So
our traditions also demand that we respect our elders, and not
yeah,
just not to digress too much. Look at what's going on in the north, compare that to what's going on in the southwest. The northerners, sometimes people say northerners, they want power, born to rule, can't know, but what's going on is because the northerners actually care more about Nigeria, for lack of a better term, by demonstrating and showing that this Nigeria is very important to us. Whereas those in the southwest, like in Lagos, I hear this movement, they're like just living their life. And the last thing I'll say before I'll let you respond is with regards to with the election. On election dates, I know people in Lagos, in different parts of the southwest, Ibadan, all those here. Some of them they are watching channels television all day. They're watching Arise all day.
mm,
Excuse me, I had an incoming call. I just got a call that. Okay, cool.
yeah,
So they are watching. Uh, they are watching Arise all day. They are watching. Sorry about that. They are watching Arise all
yeah,
day. They are watching Channels TV all day, and because of that, what you realize is that they don't go and vote. Whereas the Northerners during election time, they queue for 8 hours just to cast their ballots. So two questions: one for the leadership. The other part of leadership is our culture, has it changed? Then also we look at northern Nigeria and southern Nigeria, as evident by the coin demonstration going on day 8. Do you have anything to say to how the northerners probably take our or is it a good argument to say northerners care more about the country? Again, don't quote me out of context, but it's just that the way they're like, oh, this Nigeria, our own, they are going to do anything to save Nigeria. Whereas my friends in Lagos, they are moving about their business because so how do you respond to that?
say it's still I would say it's the culture and how do I put it? I say the value culture um, in our um, in our community, or poor community, or lifestyle in Nigeria, um, is diverse, and it's not diverse in the sense that we have we don't have I would say we don't have a common goal, and let me put it that way. In nutshell, we don't have a common vision that is driving the the country. And in saying that, it's as a result of years of degradations, in years of failure from I would say we'll use the word from all sides,
Mm.
from all sides, from leadership, from the followers as well. But the followers don't have anything to fall back to, and they just live there. Everybody's trying to look for ways to um, have a headway in their various way of life. I used to be a lover of Nigeria. I am still, but when I was maybe 10 years ago, it was 100%. But now maybe it's not even up to twenty
is, is,
percent.
is, is less than 100. It's
Yeah,
less than
because I
100.
try I try even in my little ways, I try to fight for people. But if I fight for people, and like I used to say, if I fight for people and there's nothing to I don't the laws or doesn't hold my back, everybody can do everybody's above the law. Let me just put
Mhm.
it. You can get away with the law, and there's no moral
Impunity.
standard,
There's
there's
no
everything.
impunity. I think that's the word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
just look like, oh, so that's why the people in the north might be saying they have Nigeria because they're waiting for one palliative or the other. If they know they can have more, I don't think the way when I see them saying talking about palliative, you don't have to have people palliative. You don't have to you don't have to say we are doing palliative. You don't have to do palliative. Just give let everybody have a share in what they're saying. Say, okay, oh, I'm going to work on the transportation sector. If we are going from A to B, we're going to reduce the price from what it used to be now to 20%. Everybody's sharing. We don't have to decide how many people do you want to give 100 bags of rice. What's all that? Make them be productive, impact in their lives. Say instead of trying to share this. So that's why the people that you're seeing running in the north because they are maybe they don't have the palliative digest or they don't have the rice or just want to give to them. Right? But the people in Lagos know that we can always find a headway. We just need to go to work. But if you make life easy for them, they'll be more committed. They want to listen to you. Like they'll be promising they want to do you want to do this, what's this want to just reduce the cost of energy for Nigerian workers and Nigerian people. They will love you for it. That's why they people saying that they want to move, they want to be able to make business. You can't do business because everything is energy, is connected to whatever you're doing in Nigeria. The business, everything. And it's on the high side. And to add everything to it, we own it. We own
Resources.
these resources. We
Mhm.
even have where you can refine it, but it's not working. And you are there paying people, just sitting there not doing anything. And
Giving
you
them
say
cash.
them
Giving them
as if
cash.
nobody's
Yeah. Yeah, giving them cash
why
without yeah, giving them cash without an audit trail. An audit trail
audit
is
trail. They're not even productive. They're
yeah,
not doing anything. And you're still there. And
yeah,
all of you are looking.
yeah.
Ah,
I mean, the cash
and
you
you
are giving,
can
is it tied to your NIN or do you know who's collecting what? You have the address, you have a
yeah.
database to cross-check that on. You just don't give people money, which I was watching a video a couple of days, probably I think on X ago, where they found rice in one of the commissioner's house. Rice that was supposed to be
And
for
they
the
say,
palliative.
sorry,
So they were just like, these
just
are
to add,
palliative, this guy stayed for 6 months.
just to add to that, you say you are giving people rice. So you are giving them rice for is it for 1 week? Or is it for 1 month? Or is it for 1 year?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
who are the people you are giving it to? Is it the people, is it the retirees or the children?
Pensioners, yeah.
What's the logic behind that? When I don't see people, people don't need that. They need it to be able to. They need to work. They want to do something.
Mhm.
They want productivity. They want to be able to go to the farm. They want to be able
Yeah.
to do business. They want to be able to go to the
Mhm.
produce something. It's not so instead of giving that money, use it to be building factories, build equip people to go into factories to produce something.
Yeah,
You
Adams
say you're
Oshomole was on a rise and he was defending this palliative, saying that his theory was that the wala is so much. So where does the president start? Okay, let's start palliative so we can just start small. And I was just like, what are you talking about?
say even like you say you want to give palliative, like instead of trying to do palliative, try to let people know like maybe if you show up at this place, you are going to eat 3 square meal. But what are you showing up to? You are showing up to go and volunteer in a farm. Let's be
Uh-huh.
target. Let's
Tied
let's
to
just
something.
try
Yeah.
to something. Like people then as you are giving it out, you're also gaining something in return.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
if people that doesn't have capacity to do that, Yeah, you can give to them, but tie it to something that is going to be productive on the long run. You
Mhm.
just I just see all these parties are being just being wasteful. They're just being wasteful. Yes, people are hungry. If people that are, because most of the people that are saying they are hungry, they 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 are really indeed they are hungry. But let's look for way to improve the life of people by give them subsidy for you to improve their lives. Subsidy, it says I would say politics is sort of subsidy in terms of okay, you said there are potholes, there are this, there are that. Give people work to do this things and give them food. I think I give them something to be. They won't request for your palliative. Give them work to do. You
Mhm.
said our roads are bad. Tie those money you want to use, tie it to road construction. Say you want to give, we're going to give you 100,000 for duration of 3 months. But what
Mhm.
you're going to do is that help us. You are going to help this construction company to do this. Tie it to something. People will be happy with that. Don't like they used to say. The government here where I'm living, as you say, give the people back their money. They know how to spend their money. You are not the government that you're able to help them to spend their money.
Money. Mm, mm, mm. So it's the same thing we say in Nigeria, where you teach a man to fish, don't give him fish. Instead of giving him
Yeah,
fish for one day, you just teach him how to fish, then he can fish forever. So, but
forever.
again, I think you're answering my question about the people, the culture, which the palliatives that they're giving, if people in the leadership rank kicked back against it, or people down the chain, or even the receiver say, well, I don't want palliative, like I don't want a bag of rice, give me jobs. It
Yes.
will be easier to
No,
address
no,
this question. Yeah.
no. It's Ines, I'm not saying totally like totally depend on palliative. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't depend on totally on palliative. Some people do need it. Some people are dead that cannot walk.
Some people are,
They
yeah,
cannot.
physically they
So this
can't
that's
walk.
actually
Yeah.
what yes,
Identify
what is
them.
the
Yeah.
identify them and give those people the people that can work. Don't just put all your basket idea. We're going to roll palliative for what? Rice. So what are you going to eat to eat? What are you going to use to eat the rice?
Mhm. Yeah, right. Still, you give them tomatoes too. Yeah.
You give them tomatoes again. I say tomatoes, no, give them meat. No, no, we need Maggi. You give them Maggi.
Oh, I don't eat meat. I want fish. Give me fish. For those who don't eat meat, yeah. No, very, very good point. So as we're wrapping up here, I wanted to find out if you had to make a prediction just from what you know about Nigeria, and how do you think
Yeah,
this is going to like kind of go
in
on
terms
day
of
10? Do you
the
think it resolved or
on the
not?
10th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think notice. I think the protesters, if they really need to make headway with this protest, they need to stay on. But how many people are willing to do that? The protesters are willing to do that, but it's just like there's some there's some things dynamics like they need to be creative in order for them to get something out of it. That's what I'm saying. But I don't see anything happening per se, except the protest. I want the protesters to prove me wrong, but they need to
Mm,
be creative in their way of dealing with the government. And
yeah.
like it's good that they have specifics, like this is what we want from you.
15 points.
And I
Yeah.
believe, and I believe even in those points, if they can refine it to tangible, if you say reduce the fuel, I want you to reduce the fuel to maybe 500 specifics. So the government can say, okay, this is how we can achieve this, or we cannot achieve, we never achieve this, or you're going to take us this amount of years to achieve this. But I want them to be at the end of the 10th day. I want them to be more specific with their demands in
Mm,
each of this specific, because it's not you even say if you say you want the first subsidy to be this, somebody needs to produce it. It's going to take time before it gets back to you. Just like things. So if you are specific enough, the government can give you, okay, if that's the case, maybe in 3 months we can do this.
get there.
That's it. At the end of 10 days, I think they'll be able to achieve that. If not, that's fine.
So, wow, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate you being here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys for watching. Please help us by hitting the like button if you haven't already. Leave any questions you may have, and if you've not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Thank you guys, and thank you,
All
Dr.
right.
Y, for being here. We'll catch you guys
Thank
later.
you.
Bye. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Bye.